Do you guys remember being a little kid and thinking peeing prevents pregnancy?
No.
No? Okay, I always thought peeing is somewhat connected to having a baby because, you know, it's the same. I always thought it's the same hole and stuff. And there's this other myth. Is it true that if you shower after you have sex that everything's gonna be okay and you don't have to know?
Definitely not.
Like when I was like 12, 13 years old and I was like talking to my friends about like girlfriends and sex and all that stuff, like one of my friends also told me like that the first time you have sex, like the woman can't get pregnant.
A woman can become pregnant before she even has a first period, so it's definitely possible to get pregnant on the first time you ever have sex.
So is it a lower risk? Or
No.
No. And for infections?
Same risk of infections as well.
Well, that means that even if you get your period like when you're 16, you are able to get pregnant at 13?
No, I mean, what could happen is that you start to ovulate before you have your first period. So if you have sex before you've had a chance to have a period...
Yeah, but that would be like pretty bad.
It would be unlucky, but it does happen.
And I know a lot of people who aren't on the pill or anything, and they're just using what's called the pull-out method, so where the guy just pulls out before he ejaculates.
Yeah.
Does that really prevent pregnancy?
It's really not reliable. Lots of people do it because they don't have to go anywhere to get anything, but you could never rely on that because before a man ejaculates, often some of the semen will come out with sperm in it, and it is possible to become pregnant from that.
Yeah, I guess often, like, I don't know how about you.
Yeah, I've heard of it too. Like a lot of people just do it because, I don't know.
And guys try to talk girls into saying like, yeah, I'll be careful and all this shit. Like,
it's probably easier from some people. Sometimes if you don't have a condom, they think, let's do it this way and it's gonna work.
Because they're so desperate.
Oops, she's pregnant all of a sudden.
But what if you have sex during your period? Does that do anything?
You would be less fertile during a period, and if I was counselling women about when they were less likely to get pregnant, it would be 8 days before a period and 2 days afterwards. But for women who have a short cycle, they can ovulate early, very close to the period, and in fact sperm can survive in the vagina for up to 7 days after sex. So if you have somebody who's going to ovulate early and sperm that can survive 7 days, you can see why that wouldn't be a reliable option. And also, depending on things like stress, women might ovulate early, whereas they normally have a 28-day cycle. They might have a shorter cycle and get pregnant on that one occasion.
yeah, there are all sorts of weird things like jumping up and down. And
did you hear that too? I did too.
I think it's just like this traditional sort
Yeah,
of,
maybe.
Jumping up and down doesn't work.
Okay.
maybe if one jumps very high.
No. No
But one
matter
could
how
think
high
that,
you
like,
jump.
I don't know, putting it under pressure or something
Yeah,
is not.
It's like you can't go on roller coasters when you're pregnant because
Exactly.
you might lose your baby or
Yeah,
something.
that really is more relevant in later stages of pregnancy. But you are right, people have misconceptions, and it's really important that we explain that sex will result in pregnancy, and doing exercise is not going to protect against that, or jumping up and down, or showering, or douching. None of these things work.
Any other kind of sports?
No.
Sport.